Well, I just want to say to start, thanks so much for those of you that have joined and your interest in coming on the Clarkson Alumni Cruise to Tahiti, that coming up this April, April 23rd through the 30th. I'm super pumped for this. It's one of those things where I have been wanting to do this cruise ever since I knew that this cruise was an option. So I am really, really pumped. My wife Maggie is also really pumped. We have our cabin booked. Had our cabin booked almost a year now before we even announced the cruise. So we're excited and we can't wait and hope that all of you join us aboard next April for the alumni cruise. With me tonight is Steve Furlong from Windstar. He's going to go through a bunch of stuff pertaining to the cruise. He's going to go through the itinerary and tell you a little bit about the ship and Windstar and the islands, and so that you can kind of get a feeling for what's going on. And then, kind of at the end, I'll come back and say, "Look at this amazing, amazing deals that we have on this cruise." I'll tease it out there right now that I went ahead and I looked at what the cost of the cruise is if you were to go book it today versus the group rates that Clarkson has. It's incredible. I mean, people are saving over, $2,000-3,000 per cabin. So it's really good that we secured the rates and everything ahead of time. But we do have some other additional perks to put on top of that. So we'll talk about that toward the end, though. So, Steve, let me kick it over to you, and we'll go back and forth a little bit. But you have the floor, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Pleasure to be here. So my name is Steve. I work with the sales department for Windstar. I'm in the operations team. Ryan asked me to come on and chat with everyone a little bit about this. Twofold. Once, I do work for Windstar being the first, but secondly, I used to work on board. So I actually spent 6 months in Tahiti doing this actual cruise. And I just got back in November. My wife and I went on the cruise. We went back for our anniversary. It had been 20 years since we'd been to Tahiti. So to give you an idea, this picture behind me was taken 20 years ago. The reason we went back, one, obviously it's Tahiti. We wanted to go see it, but what we wanted to do was to see how much it changed, and it has not changed. It is still as pristine and as beautiful as it was when we left there. So I'm going to share some slides and some images with you to show you what I'm going to do. I'll go through the cruise, I'll go through the ports, and we'll chat about it. So it is as beautiful as the pictures show. It's very hard to describe it other than the beauty just from looking at the pictures. French Polynesia is, if you look at it on a map, it's about as far away from the equator as Hawaii is, but going the other direction. So the climate is always the same. It's very temperate climate. It's about 80s all year round. So it's just very beautiful. They always talk about, oh, well, there's a rainy season in Tahiti. It just means it rains a little bit more than when it doesn't rain. So it's still beautiful all the time. Stays about 80s. So it's fantastic. I love this picture just because how clear the water is. In a couple of the ports that I'll get to, we actually do private beaches. So we have the beach to ourselves. We're the only ones that go to it. If you stand in the water like this gentleman, the fish will actually come right up to you. So you don't have to go too far to do the excursions to see the fish. It is very aquacentric, the cruise itself. And I say that is if you go to a cruise that goes around Italy, that deals with going inland. It goes to all of the ruins and whatnot. When you go to Tahiti, it's all about the water. It's about the ocean and the beauty of that. So definitely something you want to do if you are into the shore excursions. Lots of snorkeling tours, lots of diving opportunities if you dive, glass bottom boats, things of that nature. All right. So for the cruise,
you can take a jet ski around the islands as well.
You can jet ski around Bora Bora if you want. You could do that one as well in the protected lagoon. Some of the highlights. So it is a 7-day cruise. We are, there's some exotic locations. The lagoons are crystal clear. Drift snorkeling is one that we do in Raiatea. We have water sports activities every day. So if you don't want to get off the ship, you don't have to get off the ship. The back of our ship actually lowers down, and we have a water sports platform right off the back. You can go swimming, paddleboarding right off the back. So Tahiti is as much or as relaxed as you want it to be, as energetic or relaxed as you want it to be. All right, this is some of the highlights. This is the water sports platform up top here. So we've been Windstar has been around for 40 years. We started out with just the smaller cruise line, the smaller ships. They're 150 passengers. The fleet originally had 4 ships in it, and they were the sailing ships to begin with. One of the first destinations that we went to from the owner was to Tahiti. So in the 40 years of Windstar's life, 38 of it, we've had a ship in Tahiti. So we do Tahiti. We do it very well. We're very known with the locals. So don't be afraid to question anything. We've been around. We know what we're doing down there. One of the things that we have on Windstar, and these are just a few of the items that we do differently. We have an open bridge policy. So for any of you that are interested in how the ship works, how things navigate, you can go up to the bridge anytime you want. It is open to the public. The only time it's when we're navigating into Anchorage or we're about to leave. We just close it that for navigational reasons. But anytime you're more than welcome to go up to the bridge, talk to the officers on the watch. 3 a.m. if you can't sleep, somebody should technically be up there. So if you wanted to go up and check it out, but it is open. A lot of cruise lines the majority of the cruise lines, actually, they will not allow you to do that. It's sort of taboo to even go near it. They may sell you a bridge tour. We just open the doors and let you in. Right. And it's quite interesting because you'll see people, they want to go in, they want to look, they're very hesitant. They won't step across that threshold. Right? But as soon as they do, it's great. They're in. It's like they've made it into the forbidden area. The officers love it. It's their job. They love talking about it. So if you do go, we welcome everybody up there. We hope you get a chance to go and see it. One of the other highlights are ships. This is the marina. Every one of the Windstar ships has a marina on the back, and this is our water sports platform. This is the new Aquabanus. This is an addition to the sports platform. So in the back, in the upper part of the picture, that is actually the back of the ship that's dropped down into the water. And then they put this out into it. You can swim. As I said, you can kayak, paddleboard, windsurfers off the back. That's all complimentary. When we're in port, we drop that down. Tahiti is the perfect location to do this because we're doing this every day. Right. There's a couple of times we don't do it, and that's because we have the private beaches. We just take all of the equipment over to the beach. So the sports team is over there, and you can just do it from the beach. So, but other than that, it is open, and again, it's complimentary for everyone to use. Right. Another one of the highlights that we do have, we have a beach barbecue during the day, and I'll get to that on the port that we do. This is a private island. It's a motu that we rent out. Everything on the island is Windstar's. So we basically, all the food is from the ship. All of our chefs go over there. Our waiters go over there. We load up the bar. We load up the kitchen. And it is just an extension of the ship. We do this twice. Once we do it for lunch, and then once we do a dinner event. I'll get to that. But again, that is something special. We try and do a beach barbecue in as many itineraries as we can. It's a little difficult in Europe. We'll do a deck barbecue instead. But throughout the Caribbean or anywhere warm, we do the beach barbecue for it.
Steve, I think it's pretty cool. Like most of the cruise lines have a private island in like the Bahamas or something, and here Windstar has one in Tahiti. It's
We have
pretty
two.
awesome. And two,
We have two.
okay.
We have two.
I did the. I just want to mention that to your point, the deck barbecue. I did that just this past April when we were sailing between Africa and Europe on the Star Pride, which is the sister ship of the Star Breeze that we'll be on. That was phenomenal. So I can't imagine what they're going to do to bring that experience onto like the actual beach
onto
because they
to
did
the
a great
beach.
job on the ship.
Yeah, they do an amazing job. It's sort of you get to peek behind the window to see, peek behind the curtain, I should say, to see how they do it. While everybody goes off and goes on shore excursions, the crew just starts shuttling everything from the ship, from the sports deck to the beach. And when you get over there to enjoy your day on the beach, they're already set up. So if you're up early enough, you can see them going to do it. But they do an amazing job doing it. And as I said, we've been doing it for so long now. It's second nature to the guys, but still amazes me how quickly they can put it together. Right? So this is the cruise. I'll give you a little bit more about the ship. And then tell you about the cruise. So the ship is 312 guests. They're all outside cabins, so we don't have inside cabins on the ship. We range from portholes to ocean view windows up to French balcony suites. All these cabins are the same size. They're all the same until you get into the classic suite and the owner suite. Right? But everything else is the same. It's just the level you want to be at. The portholes are on deck 3, and then deck 4 is the ocean view, and then deck 5 and 6 are the star balcony suites. But again, same size suites, lots of room. You always have guests and they think, oh, it's a small ship, they're going to be small rooms. And I've lost, I think it's 288 square feet, walk-in closet, walk-in bath, walk-in showers. So lots of space on there for the little ship. We do have a couple of restaurants. There are 3 restaurants. There's the Amphora restaurant. There is the Basilam Bamboo, which is a smaller restaurant midship. And then there is Candles, which is upstairs on the back deck, which is an indoor-outdoor restaurant. The Star Bar is up midship, and we also have the Star Grill, and that is open during lunch and during dinners. They have different rotating menus, so if you just wanted burgers for lunch or for dinner rather than have to go get dressed up, but not, that's always available as well. So, but lots of opportunities to dine on a little ship. So we're going to start out. The cruise starts in Papeete. And this is on the island of Tahiti, and it is the biggest city in all of the Society Islands. One of the things you'll notice as you're going around the islands, unlike Hawaii, this is the only city that is built up. So there are no other cities. This is the only one. This is the main hub. All the other islands, nothing is over 2 stories. If you can find something 2 stories, very rare. And the Tahitians, the saying was that is an affront to the gods because you're blocking the palm trees. So they never built anything over the height of a palm tree, other than in this main town, right? So we would come into the airport. The airport is close by, and then from there, it's about a 20-minute drive. You can just see it. It's in this area down here, just above the Intercontinental Resort. I think it's 25 minutes to get to the ship. Flights in and out, I'm going to leave that up to Ryan to get your flights in and out of there. But really, we are right downtown for the ship. So once you get onto if you're in downtown, if you're staying downtown, you can walk to the ship or one of the resorts. It's not far away, right? It's not too far. From Papeete, we do leave out of Papeete around 6 o'clock at night. It is a slow departure. We don't race out of there. And the reason is, one of the reasons, this is off the back of the ship as we're just about to pull out of Papeete. The skies are beautiful as you're departing. This in the background here over on the left, or sorry, on the right-hand side, that's the island of Moorea. So it's really close. That's why there's really no rush to get there. It's our next port of call. So that's where we're going next. So we, as I say, it's a slow leave out. Nothing's ever rushed to get to it. All right. So when we do depart, we do a sail away every evening. We raise up the ship's flag. We play the Conquest of Paradise 1492 from the Conquest of Paradise by Vangelis as we're pulling out of port. It's a very beautiful sail away. We do that on all of our ships as we head out. So this is the cruise. This is the 7 days. As I mentioned, we leave out of Papeete. We go to Moorea. It's a very close stop. And then from Moorea, it's up into Raiatea, Motumahea, Bora Bora, Huahine, and then back. And this is the Society Islands. These are the main ones. When you go on a longer cruise, if you decide to stay there, the next set of island is the Tuamatus, and further than that are the Marquesas. But we're just sticking with the Society in the 7 days, and we hit every one of the main islands as we go through it. Right? Well, not hit, we go to visit, I should say. So our first stop is Moorea. This is actually the picture that I have in the background. We go to Cook's Bay. So over here on the left is the island. It looks like a W. There's two main bays. It's Cook's Bay and Opanuhu Bay. Cook's Bay is the one on the right-hand side. We actually go into the harbor and we will tender over to Pau Pau Tender Pier. And that's if you're going to go take tours or see the little town and whatnot. That's where it is. But we will actually be here at anchor in the harbor one more time, have the water sports platform open. So you'll be able to use that the first time you get to see that. Any of the tours, if you do decide to take a tour, excursion, they meet on the ship. Then you'll go ashore in the tender. Then the tours will take you from there. If you're doing a boat tour, water related tour, or a whale watch tour, we have some great whale watch tours that go out of this area. They'll come to the ship. They actually pick you up from the ship. So you don't need to go ashore and then get back onto the ship. So that's handy. Saves a little bit of time doing that. Very small town. As I mentioned, it's there's no high rises in there, but there are some restaurants, little shopping areas for you if you want to get some souvenirs or whatnot. All right. Moorea is a very mountainous island, very volcanic. So there are some really beautiful trips up into the mountains and get some great views back from not only Moorea, but looking back at the island of Tahiti as well. You want to do that. Right. So as I mentioned, it's some volcanic peaks. It's very lush. The bay that we're in is very sheltered. So I don't recall a time that we ever did not do water sports in Moorea because it's such a big sheltered bay, right? And again, lots of water sports there. Right? These are all from Moorea. So the next one we head out to, we are going to from there. It is a longer stretch. We go to the island of Raiatea. Raiatea, beautiful island. It is the sacred island that they refer to it as. This is the only island that we will actually dock at. So we do dock. We don't tender here. We are right downtown. One of the reasons is the reef area is very close. There's a lot of traffic that goes by. So that's why we don't use the water sports here, but we make up for it the next day. But we're right in town. As you can see, the town's a little bit bigger. There's restaurants, lots of shops in here. It is walkable, so around the area. But if you want to get up into the mountains to go and see it or do a nice trip around the island, they'll come and meet you right at the ship and take you off on the tour. Right? We are in Raiatea for a long time. And we are. If it's hard to sell, but just a little bit on this picture on the left, you can see that little picture of the airport where the cursor is. The next island is right above that. So this actual reef continues around the next island. So we stay there quite late. And the reason is, once again, we're going very close. So you have lots of time. If you do take an excursion in the morning, You have lots of time to see the town afterwards, or vice versa. So lots of time to explore on that as well. But because we are in so long in Raiatea, we do have a cultural event. We actually have dancers come on board. We have pareo tying demonstrations, the tiara flower demonstrations. These are all things that you can get involved with. A lot of fun. As I said, we're there a long time, so they are on board for hours. So you don't have to rush back to get there for the 30 minutes they're on board. They're with us the whole time. Weather permitting, we sometimes have the deck, food out on the deck, dinner on the deck as well. It's not as big as the deck barbecue that Ryan mentioned, but we do have lunch, snacks, and whatnot on deck as well. Right. So this is, as I mentioned, the cultural events that we have. Locals come on board, entertain everybody. So it's always a lot of fun. Get to learn some Tahitian dancing while you're there. And this is all outside on the deck, so lots of fun. So the next port is Taha'a. And as you look on this picture on the left, that is the extension of the reef. So it is the lower part of the reef. Where we're going to be in Taha'a is we are going to be in this inlet, but we're going to go to this tiny little island right here. And that is Motumahea. And Motumahea is where we're going to spend the afternoon. You can do a shore excursion in the morning. It will take you off. You can go and see Taha'a, and then they'll bring you back to Motumahea. If you just want to stay on the ship and go over there on your own, you're more than welcome to do it. This is our private island, and this is where we have the island all to ourselves, and where the crew, the gentlemen and ladies from the ship, are going to take all this stuff over for you. We'll have the beach barbecue, snorkeling right off the water. Right off the beach. I forgot to mention, all snorkeling gear is complimentary. You can just pick it up on the first day, leave it in your shower or whatnot, and take it with you every day when you go ashore. But you can snorkel right off the beach here in Taha'a. It is surrounded by the reef, so it's very beautiful. So again, very laid back. You don't need to do an excursion if you don't want to. Just make the day out of it. It's a lot of fun. Right. It's some more shots here of it. Right. Just an all around great relaxing day on the
Steve,
island. That's a good shot of the island there.
orientation on that, Steve, is it actually part of Raiatea, or is it?
It is part of. So it's Moray. Oh, sorry, it's Raiatea and Taha'a. Taha'a
Okay.
is a separate island, and Motumahea is part of Taha'a. So
Okay.
it is one of the islands on the ring around Taha'a. So it
Okay.
is a secondary island.
Okay.
Smaller, a lot smaller than Raiatea, but it's so beautiful day. Again, very relaxed if you don't want to head out on an excursion. Give you, just spend the day doing that. Right. So this is probably the island that is the most famous of all of the Society Islands, and that is Bora Bora. And we stay in Bora Bora for 2 days. So we go into Bora Bora, we'll come into the lagoon. It is a massive lagoon, protected extremely well, very calm inside. We will anchor, and we send the tenders over to Vaiatepe Tender Pier. This is the town on Bora Bora. This is the main town. Again, restaurants, shops, things of that nature, all here within walking distance. There is a lot to see and do on Bora Bora. It is not the biggest of the islands, but it is the most famous, and there is a lot to do. You can go up into the mountains. Right? There are World War II gun batteries and defensemen up there, if you can imagine that on such a beautiful island. But lots of water activities as well. Snorkeling, diving, banana boats. And as Ryan said, this is where you can jet ski around the island. If you wanted to rent a jet ski, you can do it. And it's all within the lagoon. So it's very protected in the lagoon. All right. So this is going to be day one. All right. again, lots to see, lots to do, right? We are overnight. So we do stay overnight there. It is a fantastic area to, in the evening to sit up on the deck, have a drink, whatnot, and just take it in. It's very beautiful. The sunsets are fantastic there. And you don't leave. So we're not leaving. So, you're not going to get blown off the deck or anything like that. And the reason is we stay for the next day. And what we do is, again, from the inner harbor, we're going to go over now to this little island. And this is Motu Tapu. And Motu Tapu, we've rented this island. And what we do in this island, it's not as, we'll be there all day. So if you don't want to go back into town, you can just tender over there. There are facilities, but there'll be nothing there during the day, but it is empty. So if you just want to go snorkeling, it's basically your private beach that you have until around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the crew is going to come over and they're going to start bringing all of the stuff over again. And what we have that evening is we have a luau on the beach. This is our destination discovery event. So we're having dinner on the beach. We have Polynesian dancers, Tahitian dancers, fire dancers. It is a fantastic evening. So it spreads through. So be relaxed all day long, get into the excitement. And then when we get back on board, the crew's going to entertain you, lots of dancing. So it continues on when you're back on board. But great show, great evening. Then it has to end somewhere. We do end in Huahine. Huahine is a beautiful island, very lush, very green, lots of beaches. Again, we're going to go in. We will tender to the Faro Cargo Pier. Again, a little bit of town here. They're all very small. And then off on your excursions from there. Right. Huahine is really beautiful. It's a fantastic island. Lots of pearl farms as well. So there are a couple of things. That was the end of my slides, but there's a few things I want to talk about. So in Raiatea, we actually are partners with the Coral Gardeners. Coral Gardeners they are creating a reef. So they're building their own reef. So we actually sponsor them. They're a partner with us to build the reef. So it's not just tourism. We're also, it's very eco-friendly. We're actually back to give back to it as well. So we make sure that it's not just people walking across the beach. We're also building it back up. So trying to build it back up anyway. So a lot of fun. I mean, it's a fantastic cruise. It is probably the most relaxed cruise you'll ever have, or could be the most energetic, whichever way you want to do it, because it has the option to be in the water all day long or just to be on the beach all day long. It's all very close. Nothing is far away. It's all extremely close to where we are within the cruise.
Well, if people
And
have
unfortunately,
questions, feel free to, put some in the chat or even come off mute if you want to ask questions directly. Like I said, I have a couple of things to talk about too, but Steve, I've been on Windstar a few times. Is there there's always a cruise show. Is there a cruise show on the
there is a
Tahiti
cruise show.
cruises? Okay.
There is a cruise show. Yeah, we would do it on on the 7 day, I believe it is in the night of Huahine.
Okay.
The night we leave. Yeah,
It is
we
not to
try
be
to.
missed. Just so
we
people understand.
we always arrange things so that everybody is on board. I worked for other cruise lines. I worked for larger cruise lines. One of the things that we wanted to do on a cruise line was we wanted to get you back on board, right? And the reason we want you to get back on board is so that you go to the casino or go to the bar. Because if you're spending money ashore, you're not spending money on the ship. Windstar, we don't have a casino, right? We stay late in ports because we want you to experience the port. But we arrange things so that you're not going to miss it. So even though we do have the Raiatea dancers on board, as I mentioned, the ladies come on board. They're on board for such a long amount of time that you're not rushing back to go see them. They're going to be there. The Bora Bora, the destination discovery event, it will never clash with the shore excursion because all the shore excursions are over and everyone's back. That doesn't start until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There's nothing else, So we try and make sure that everybody gets to enjoy what we have to offer, so that you're not rushed to miss something.
When you were talking about the staying over in Bora Bora, um, is there nightlife? Like, can people go party up in Bora Bora? Like, is
So
that a
a
thing?
lot of the things in Tahiti, and this is all Tahiti, is the main restaurants and the bars are in the resorts.
Okay.
So the resorts, like a cruise line, they don't want you to leave. They want you to stay there and drink out of their bar rather than go to another bar. But there are restaurants that are open. The main one is, um, unfortunately, it is shut right now. It was Bloody Mary's. I believe it's going to be open this fall. They had to close down for renovation, so it should be open by the time you're back. That one is the main one in Bora Bora, but little bit, but mostly it's in the resorts where you have.
Gotcha.
One of the things I forgot to mention. If you see the overwater bungalows, I was mentioning how nothing is built up. Everything is one story. Nothing is built up. Um, the overwater bungalow concept started in Tahiti because they weren't allowed to build up. So all the resorts, they had no option but to go out. So they went out into the water to get more space because they couldn't go higher. They couldn't add more rooms. So they went out into the water. And what became a necessity ended up becoming one of the main claim to fames for these resorts is these overwater bungalows. So that's where this actually started, which is great because, again, you're not blocking the views with a tower. You're actually out on the water rather than do it. So
Yeah.
other than Papiete, that's where you've got your buildings. Right? So everything else is. That's it.
All right. Well, if you don't mind, Steve, I'm going to throw my
Yeah, go
couple
ahead.
of
Let me
slides up. Yeah.
stop share.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't have a ton, but I want people to. Mike Petoniak says, is the snorkeling and diving for any level of availability?
The snorkeling gets you for the snorkeling. You can actually just walk into the water and snorkel. We always used to steal crackers from the breakfast buffet to go in and feed the fish right off the pier. So snorkeling, you can be as amateur or advanced as you want. The same with the diving. The diving, there are both. So there are beginner and advanced diving. There are more advanced, but if you want to do some beginner diving classes, there are the options for that. Bora Bora has a couple of them as well, but you do have opted both.
Okay. Last year we did our cruise was Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, and I said it was the Golden Knights of the Caribbean. So uh, fair enough. This year it's Golden Knights of the South Pacific. So here's the little logo I put together for us. But again, here is the itinerary that Steve just went through. Um, and there's a picture of our ship that we'll be on. And this is some of the folks that were on the cruise with us last year that we did in the Caribbean. But um, this is the thing that I want folks to see. This is the pricing for the cruise. These are double occupancy prices. Steve mentioned there was basically three different levels of pricing or of different types of rooms. There's the porthole, there's the ocean view, and then there's balcony. Right now, the portholes are on a wait list because they've actually sold out. And then the ocean view rooms are starting at 6608 and the balcony rooms are starting at 8838. Um, that's that's where we stand right now. If you may remember, it was a 300, what is it, Steve? 300 and what capacity? Steve, the
Sorry,
capacity is
I had to get my mute button. It's
uh
312.
yeah,
Sorry.
three. So yeah,
Three.
so it's not a huge ship. So the so 312. So that's why you're going to see categories that will sell out and stuff like that. So, but anyway, these are the prices. Everybody gets. They are greatly reduced. For instance, the ocean view rooms that are 6608 right now, those are 8608, and these balcony rooms that you see at 8838. If you were to go on the website now, they're over $11,000. So the pricing is actually really good. Everybody's getting $100 per person on board credit. Windstar has been kind enough to, in coordination with this event that we're doing right now, this webinar, anybody who books before August 1st is going to get an additional $50 per person on board credit. Incredible opportunity to, have a extra spending money on board that you can use at the spa or whatever. Um, there is a all-inclusive package, and I always get this because it's a great value. $693 per person gets you the Wi-Fi, the drinks, and the gratuity included. So at that point, you're basically done. You just whatever you want for excursions or whatever, that's all you're spending. But I have been on 3 Windstar cruises so far. The things that we didn't talk about before now, the service is amazing. The small ship atmosphere is amazing. If you've not been on a small ship before, let me put it to you this way. If you're on one of the great big huge ships and you forget something in your room, you're like, oh my God, I got a 30-minute walk back to my room. If you forget it on a Windstar ship, you might have to invest 2 minutes to get back to your room to get whatever it is you forgot. Like it's a very quick thing. On Windstar, if you go up to the bar and you order a drink from the bartender is going to say, "Okay, Ryan," because they already know your name because you've been on the ship for 10 minutes, so they know your name. They're going to say, "Ryan, where are you sitting?" Because they're not going to sit there and they're not going to have you watch them make the drink. They're just going to bring you the drink wherever you are, whether that's across the room, across the deck, or whatever. The service is really good. Um, and you heard me ask about the crew show because it's hysterical. It's not to be missed. It's like one of the premier events that are at the end. Food's outstanding. I just can't say enough about it, which is why I chose Windstar in Tahiti for our cruise or this year. So, um, like I said, anybody has any questions, put them in the chat. If Steve can answer from a Windstar perspective, I can answer from a Windstar customer perspective, uh, and I'd love to share the experience with you guys. So let me know.
I've been with the company now for, oh well, on and off since 2001, because I went to another line and came back, and I still don't know how they managed to do your names like that. It's crazy. Like we'll see guests who haven't been on board the ship in like 2 years and come on board, and the waiters will know them. I have no idea how they do it. I honestly have no idea how it's done, but it's crazy. Just the level of service with the small line is outstanding. And so,
I was on the Legend. Okay, I'll say I'll put in that story, but because we have a couple of questions. What are the onboard amenities? And the next question is, can non-Clarkson alums like other family members join the cruise? That's of course, yes, it's a Clarkson alumni cruise, but consider it Clarkson alumni and friends. Everybody can come. Just, get them in contact um, with me, and we'll get everybody booked. So, absolutely. So the onboard amenities, Steve, you want to go ahead and take that?
so other than the say the spa, the shore excursions, and the shop, all of your food is included. All of the non-alcoholic drinks, so specialty coffees, lattes, things of that nature, that's all included. Um, when you do, if you do get the all-inclusive package, which Ryan mentioned, all the drinks in that, it's 90% of the drinks are included. There's some top shelf scotch that's out, but that's included with it as well. But as I mentioned, all food, room service, 24-hour room service is on. If you're, if you don't, if you come back from the beach late and you don't want to get changed for dinner, you can order room service off your menu from the dining room. So off the actual dining room menu is available to you in your suite. Um, yeah, all of the water sports activities are included. As mentioned, snorkel gear, well, things of that nature. I can't think of anything.
Well, you got this. So you have the snorkeling gear. You have
Snorkeling
the
gear,
at the water sports platform that you mentioned. There is a pool. There is a hot tub. There's the spa. You have the heated lounges. There is like entertainment to not like a. It's not like entertainment like you would have on like a Royal Caribbean ship, right? It's not like there's these
yeah.
Broadway style shows, but you're gonna have like a three-piece band or something and some
There's
music.
two bands on board. One of the with being a Tahitian cruise, one so there's the main band that plays in the lounge most of the cruise, and then we also have a Tahitian band that travels with us, and there are Tahitian ambassadors. They're on board for the whole cruise. They're actually with us for they do a contract and then they swap off with somebody else. But they also play, so they're the secondary band as well, which is something unique. We don't have that on any of our other cruises. We don't bring on locals that actually sail with us. It's only in Tahitian or in Tahiti where we actually have a local crew, local
Yeah.
band, I should say. Yeah.
Uh,
I think that's it. There's only one item that I can recall food wise that costs money, and that is the tomahawk steak. And that is an extra $50, but it's about that big. So it's
yeah. I
it's
had it.
it's
It's
bad.
great.
Did you have
Well, you know why?
it?
Because, when you go on a cruise like this and if you get this all-inclusive package and you've got the onboard credit, you got to find
what are
something to
you
spend it on. So you're
what are you
spending
gonna
it on the shop, the tomahawk steak, or the spa. Those are your options.
that's all I got.
Yeah. So, um, any other questions from people? Well, I don't want to keep people unnecessarily. I thank you, Steve, for coming on and telling us
Oh, you're very welcome. Yeah.
about the destination. I'm like I said, I'm super pumped. I can't wait to go. Um, Perhaps selfishly, maybe that's why we're going, is that I'm so excited to go. So, what is the deposit? And that depends. It's not like a set amount, I think it's 10% or something. Do you know, Steve, what it is usually?
15%.
15%.
15%. Yeah.
And Mike asked about if there's airline flight deals. And I know, do you want to cover like the Air Tahiti Nui stuff that
So Air Tahiti Nui flies out of Seattle and they fly out of Los Angeles and they go direct to Papeete. Um, then there's a couple of other lines that fly out of San Francisco and LA as well. Pricing, I'm not sure on the pricing. Yeah,
yeah,
I'd love to be able to tell you what it is. I'm really not sure on the flights. Um,
and it's a case
it's
by
not as
case, like in
Yeah, it's not as
this.
expensive as I thought it would be. I just, as I mentioned, I did it back in November. Um, it wasn't as expensive as I thought it was going to be. I think it was like $1,200 each, something like that, to do it. And then we went up for $200, went up to premium. So round
That's
trip.
with the from Seattle or from
That was from LA. That one was
LA.
from LA. Yeah.
Yeah. I know one of the things that Maggie and I are talking about doing is potentially doing a little couple days on the West Coast and then going over because the flight availability is a little bit easier from the West Coast.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're thinking.
The one good thing with the flights, Mike, is the flights leave in the evening. So they all leave, and the reason they do that is so people on the East Coast can get over there to get on the flight to fly out. So they're all afternoon flights. They're never too early, and they get you into Tahiti in the morning, right? So gives you a good day to explore. So if you do want to go in early, as Ryan says, if you want to go into to Tahiti early, give you a good chance to see Papeete. Also a big
Yep.
island, beautiful island, but yeah.
Yep. All right. Any other questions? If you think of a question, like as soon as this is over, what are the excursions? Well, we talked about some. There's
so,
the
so
jet ski.
there, so I didn't go into the excursions because there are a lot. And what you can do for the excursions is if you go to our website, you just pick up any cruise that is Dreams of Tahiti, which is what this is. There's one every week. The shore excursions are pretty much the same. You can actually go to this exact cruise, pick this date, look at it, and it will show you all the available excursions. Because we're there all year, I think you can see the excursions out for the next 2 years because they're the same. They really don't change. So what you see on the website is pretty much what is available. You'll notice there's a lot of water activities, so snorkeling, diving, class
Pearls.
bottom boats. But there is, if you do want to do some land excursions, there are trips around the island. There are ATV tours as well. There are Jeep tours up into the hills, that type of thing. Helicopter trips, jet skis. So lots of stuff. And they do vary. I think we still have it. I don't quote me. We used to have it in Huahine. We used to have horseback riding on the beach. That was an excursion as well. So
And
I
Sue,
don't.
I'll email you after um, a link so that you don't have to go search for it. I'll email you the link that has the excursions so you can kind of look through them.
Yeah, you
Oh,
you can click on the website now. You can, or is that the link? You can
it's
click on the link now, and it'll actually show you all of the tours. So you don't have to click in day one, day two, day three. It'll just give you a full list on it as well.
yeah,
So.
yeah. So perfect. All right. Well, I'll start my wrap up again and see if we have additional question. That happens sometimes. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate everybody for coming on. I'm super excited about it. If you do have questions after we hang up, then yep, she's got it. That's right, Sue. I'm based on what I'm. Let me look.
I think
You
I
found
just
it.
dropped it. Yeah, that's. I think that is. It may not be
Yeah.
your exact cruise, but that should
Yep.
link you to
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Perfect.
And just if you click on that link and then click on the print options, it'll just give you all of the tours. You don't have to print it, but it'll bring it up to show you all the tours. So
Oh yeah, look at that. All
it
right.
used to be.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll call. We'll stop there. But yeah, thanks everybody again, and I'll send this link out that Steve just put in there, and then you'll have the excursions as well. But do get in touch with me if you're interested in booking, and we'll get you signed up right away before more cabins sell out. And Sue, get your friends and family. Let's get them on here too. So
Well, we look forward to seeing everybody on board.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Steve, and thank you everybody.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks,
All
everyone.
right.
Have a great night.
Good night.